Welcome back to On-Air, everybody. I am your host, Ryan Ayers. Tonight, I want to talk about the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in the sports world. Last night on NBC Sports, Michael Phelps and Chad Lacrosse and their rivalry took center stage in the 200-meter butterfly. And Michael Phelps was seeking revenge. It was obvious from everything that he had stated leading up to the race. And Chad Lacrosse was definitely trying to get under his skin by shadow boxing and getting in front of him before the race the night before. So he was doing something that I didn't really understand. You don't do that kind of stuff to a Michael Phelps, a Michael Jordan, and a Tiger Woods in his prime. You're going to end up embarrassed. But when you think about it and you let it soak in for several hours after being turned into a punchline now, finishing in fourth place while Phelps picks up his 20th gold medal at the time last night, I think Lacrosse was doing something pretty smart in the end. He knew he had no shot in hell of beating Michael Phelps. And so with that, you might as well, even though you go out and win the gold medal 4 years earlier in that event, people don't remember Lacrosse from Adam, unless you really follow the swimming world and the international swim scene religiously, which is about less than 1% of people in the United States. So he goes out and makes a name for himself, act like a clown, and sure enough, 10 minutes, an hour, however long it took to get up on these websites from ESPN.com and everything else, he became a Twitter and .com sensation and was showing up on all of the highlights throughout, the sports stations in the United States and probably around the world too. So get a claim to fame, I guess, when you're going to be clowned and punked out like that in one of your final races and perhaps your Olympic career. You're going to try and make a name for yourself. And I think that's what it was all about. He was just trying to make some money from endorsement or what. He just wanted to get himself out there. So it was a genius move by himself, but it didn't work out, and you look like a total embarrassment when Michael Phelps was wagging his index finger telling everybody, don't mess with me. That's what Michael Jordan would do, and that's what Tiger Woods would do with his fist pumps when he would hit birdie putts in his prime in major championships. Everybody else that tried to come after him or even didn't want to come after him would fall flat and would totally choke under the pressure in a final grouping with him, just like John Starks would choke in a one-on-one matchup 99% of the time with Michael Jordan. But now it goes on to tonight, a more friendlier rivalry with Ryan Lochte against Michael Phelps. And that race just concluded in the semifinals of the 200-meter individual medley relay. I touched on that a few days ago. Now, tomorrow night is going to be the final, and those two are just running away with things. It's just a matter of who's going to get the gold and the silver. I still believe Lochte could possibly, on a perfect night, catch Michael Phelps, but they're both going to go 1-2, and they're going to run away or swim away from all of the competition tomorrow night. And that's going to be, like I said, one for the ages to watch, because Ryan Lochte very well may never compete in another Olympics, and I don't think Michael Phelps is going to dare try to come back in 2020. So we'll look out for that. Some entertaining stuff in the pool tonight and over this last week for a guy and guys out there that don't really follow this stuff but every 4 years. Something that we follow more than every 4 years is the attention whore himself, known as Tim Tebow. He came into the news again last night and into today with his decision to drop out, basically, out of football, give up the dream of playing in the NFL, and he's now going to move on to dreaming about playing in Major League Baseball. And it's quite delusional of him to think that he can jump ship on a football dream that he's had for over a decade. He's been playing from Division I to the NFL to at least being in preseason camps with teams like New England and Philadelphia over the last couple of years, that he's now going to put on a tryout for all Major League Baseball teams to show up to in Arizona. And I just think it's kind of contradictory coming from him. He's a guy that always said to kids, as a motivational speaker the last few years as well, don't give up on your dreams. His dream was always to play quarterback. Well, he could play quarterback. If he just would go to the CFL, he could get some reps and really see if he can do it in the NFL. And NFL teams will get another look at him and finally give him the opportunity. Maybe he can't get back to the NFL. But if he wants to play quarterback, there's a job waiting for him in the CFL. He's already made a boatload of cash. So if the NFL is not a possibility, play quarterback at the CFL level. And you know what? If he ever gave up the dream of playing quarterback, he could still have the dream of staying in the NFL by being an H-back or a tight end. He's a super athlete, a freak athlete. He's built like a brick, you know what. And so I just think it's, again, highly contradictory to give up on your dream and go do something he has no chance. As he's pushing 30 years old, most people, I'm not hating on him at all. I just think it's coming down to common sense. And most baseball general managers and insiders out there all over are saying he's got no shot. So I just find it just kind of weird. Seems like it's more about him drawing attention to himself than actually getting back into football or now baseball. And with that, I want to let you know you've just been on air, and I am Ryan Ayers.